moving on. Here's some interesting information I came across. This is documenting the government response early on from the COVID when it first became when the public first became aware of it. And I actually became aware of this around January 25th because I was in Cuba for my birthday. And we were flying back, going through a lot of airports, and on the way back, I was reading about this, and so it was already a thing late in January. They had a January 30th meeting, and at the January 30th meeting, they said the risk to Canadians remains low. Okay, so you guys kind of whiffed on that one. The first confirmed cases were already identified in Ontario and BC from people who had been in Wuhan. So it kind of makes you wonder when Netflix aired a show about 5 years ago called Contagion. Now, if you've ever seen that, it's very similar. The actual symptoms are much more dramatic. People kind of, within 24 hours and just sort of keel over. But the spread, the transmission, the way it started, all of that stuff looks very, very similar to this situation, right? So if you work for the Center for Disease Control or the World Health Organization, you probably shouldn't be spending a lot of your time thinking of decorating the office, thinking of what kind of plants you're going to be putting in. You should be thinking about disease control. If you work for the Center of Disease Control, or if you're representing Canada and that is your function, you should have a pretty good handle on this. And so they got it exactly wrong. They said, "Oh, fuck, it's not a problem. Sorry, Mom, it's not a problem." The talking points in January said that preventing the virus arriving in Canada was next to impossible because of global travel. And instead, the domestic focus should be on controlling the spread. Next to impossible. So you have people from a section of one country that have this disease, right? This contagious virus. And by the way, viruses that have come out of that country have killed millions of people over the last century. Like, not a few, millions, and most of them have come from this area. Hey, no judgment, okay? No racism here. I love you, China. But you would think that would give you pause to reconsider. Hey, the place that's given us the most deadly viruses in our history, in world history, has another one. We can't stop it though. It's on the other side of the world, right? This country is on the other side of the world. Nobody from there is running to Canada. Nobody's driving to Canada. Nobody's taking a train to Canada. Nobody's walking or swimming. They have one way to get from Wuhan province to Canada, and that is through a cylinder that flies through the air and goes through a customs check. So in actual fact, it is actually very easy to stop this virus from coming to Canada. It's very simple. You simply say, hey, we're going to pump the brakes on flights from this place that has a virus, just for a little while, just for a few days, just till we figure out what the hell is going on, right? That's all you got to do. But no, it was impossible to stop it. Oh, man. I mean, these are the experts, right? These are the people that are the experts. Does that sound like an expert decision? I mean, you could literally grab somebody off the street and say, you, make a decision. No, make a decision right now. We can't stop it. Let it come in. We'll control it. Okay, good enough. That's what the experts say too. If they said the opposite, stop the flights right away, you would have been better. You would have made a better decision than the experts. So anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting that after they had been aware of it, that was the thinking.